Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle, and this is the latest episode of New Music Weekly. It's September 2nd, 2022. This is the show where I give you guys the top 5 prog news headlines, talk about the top 5 prog singles this week, and give you some updates about the channel and what's been going on here. So if you like this content and would like a weekly news show about prog, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate the support, and it would just really help out the channel to see more subscribers and to see things grow. Helps motivate me to continue doing what I'm doing, and it's just really fun for the community. So please consider that. And without further ado, let's jump into the news items today. So as I usually like to start with, item number 1, new releases today in the prog world. We've got a new album from King's X that I wanted to mention. The album's called Three Sides of One that came out. Of course, King's X is a hard rock heavy metal trio consisting of Doug Pinnick on bass guitar lead vocals, Ty Tabor on lead guitar, and Jerry Gaskell on drums. So a nice, cool 3-piece who just play really cool hard rock and prog adjacent material. I'm not sure I'd full on call it prog music, but really intelligent, cool hard rock with a bit of a funky edge at times and some Beatles influences in some of the harmonies and sounds. So they have a lot of cool influences going for them, but this is their first new album in 14 years, so it's definitely been a long stretch, but I've been listening to a bit of it this morning, and it sounds really good, really solid, so I really recommend it to you guys. I'm sure I'll be talking about it on a future episode in some capacity, so just wanted to put that to your attention. Released today on InsideOut Music, the new King's X record. Also released today is Steve Hackett's new live release, Genesis Revisited Live, Seconds Out and More, a visual document of his 2021 UK tour, celebrating the classic Genesis live album, so available in many different formats today: CD, Blu-ray, CD, DVD, and digital audio. There will be a vinyl release later, so really cool selections, and I've put one of the clips from the concert in as one of the singles for the week. It's a performance of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway from this set, so really cool stuff. A really cool set of music, really great for fans of classic Genesis. Of course, Steve Hackett is a legendary guitarist from the band Genesis from back in their heyday, so really a cool project, and he's always touring. He's a very busy guy, and so definitely wanted to mention that release for you guys to go check out. Item number 2, Yes announces some U.S. tour dates. This is their U.S. leg of the tour, the Album Series Tour 2022, celebrating the 50th anniversary of their iconic 1972 album Close to the Edge. This is their first trek in the U.S. since 2019 and kicks off with 2 shows in Glensdale, Pennsylvania at the Keswick Theater on Friday, October 7th and Saturday, October 8th, and wraps up in New York at the NYCB Theater on November 19th. So tickets, I believe, are on sale now. Check local listings, check where your dates may be if you're into this and if you're in the U.S. and are able to attend this tour. Nearest to me, just for anyone interested, is October 25th. They're performing in Riverside, California, which is fairly near where I live, so that could be a cool one to go to, depending on scheduling and things. So that's something to look into. Unfortunately, Alan White passed away, so he's not going to be part of this tour. So it's a little bit of a tribute to Alan White as well, I believe, as they continue onward with touring drummer Jay Schellen. So that should be an interesting lineup. We've also got, of course, Steve Howe, guitars and backing vocals, Jeff Downs on keyboards, John Davison on lead vocals, and Billy Sherwood on bass guitar and backing vocals. And I know there's a lot of discourse about, this iteration of Yes, is excluding so many classic members. Could it be considered Yes? Is it a different offshoot? Should they, incorporate a different name or something? There's a lot of discussion about, is the true version of Yes kind of done for now, but I like to see these musicians continue onward and celebrate this great music, so I don't mind them touring and doing all of this stuff in celebration of the great Yes catalog, and especially Close to the Edge, which is arguably their greatest masterpiece. So really cool tour, really recommend check that one out. Item number 3, talking about a new band here. This is the band Wheel. they signed a worldwide deal with InsideOut Music, and they've launched a new single, Blood Drinker, which I've put as one of the singles in the top 5 singles list. This is a really cool group. Anglo-Finnish progressive metal band. They've been on tour in North America alongside Apocalyptica and Leprous recently, so those are bands that you can use as reference points, I would suppose. So Wheel is a bit of a heavier group. I would compare them a lot to Tool on that heavy end of the spectrum, but really interesting time signatures and different things they're doing in the music to make it varied. They have some more extended, longer pieces as well. So they're just a really cool, fascinating band, and it's cool to see them get a deal here with InsideOut Music and catapult them to hopefully the next level of popularity within the prog community, because they deserve it. Their albums have been really strong up to this point, and so looks like they're releasing an EP coming soon, Rumination EP. So this track, Blood Drinker, is the first single from it, and looks like they're looking forward to probably a full album next year in 2023, their third studio album. They're still doing quite a bit of touring, an extensive tour in North America supporting Apocalyptica and Leprous, as I mentioned, throughout September and into October. So, and then further dates with Apocalyptica in Finland in November before joining them again in Europe in early 2023. So a lot going on in the live arena for them. And so it's cool to see a new band pop up. Check out the track if you're into this darker, heavier prog, along the lines of Tool and Leprous and those style bands. So should be a good time for those who like that style music. Item number 4, I wanted to mention Porcupine Tree. They revealed their new tour film for Heard Culling in anticipation of their tour dates coming up in North and South America. So this is, I believe, some of the film that they'll be showing during the concert. They like to have really good footage that accompanies the music, visuals as well as audio on their tours. Of course, Steven Wilson is always big on making a great big production and great production values for his shows. So this is part of that. So this is just giving a bit of a taste of what you can expect from the tour films that will accompany the songs that they perform live. So it's a really cool video. Once again, one of the singles that I've put into my list of prog singles. Heard Culling, it was a really cool track from their latest album. They released it as a single before, so they've had somewhat of a music video for it, I believe, but this is more of the official tour footage that they're going to be showing. So really cool, really gives a good glimpse into what you can expect on their live dates that are coming up shortly. And I wanted to mention it because I'm going to be able to see them live at the end of this month with my dad. It's going to be a fun experience. My dad gifted me with concert tickets for them for my birthday this past month. So that was really cool. And so this just builds the excitement for the tour coming up, and I'm just excited to see what they have to offer in the live arena. And item number 5, this is a group I'll admit that I don't really know too well, but I know the name and I know they're somewhat legendary in their field. This is the French band Magma. They're a Zool band. They're announcing their new album Kartehl. This is a brand new studio album being released through 7th Records on September 30th. They say more than 18 months without being able to do a concert. The space of time this imposed pause was used to prepare a new album, a group album like Magma hadn't done in a long time. So this could be a really fun, interesting release for those who like Magma. A little bit out there for me a little bit, it's a little bit wild. I think they've kind of invented their own language and their own world, and their albums are very strange in their own way, but I know a lot of people who love progressive rock love this band, so I wanted to mention it as an important news item that they're coming out with a new album that should be a really interesting one to check out on September 30th. So just wanted to mention that quickly as my item number 5. And then as a couple quick hits here at the end, I saw Glass Hammer started pre-orders for their new album At the Gate. They're a great North American progressive rock band that I've really followed symphonic prog and the classic style of Yes and Genesis and Gentle Giant and all the classics. Their newer albums, this album is part of a trilogy of albums they've been doing that are a little bit on the heavier end, but not too much. More of the like old school classic metal, like early 70s Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and things like that, but still with the touchstones of their typical symphonic style as well. So really cool fantasy inspired lyrics. It's a big sprawling concept over three albums, and this is the concluding part of the trilogy at the gate. So definitely want to point your way towards the trailer, which I'll put in the description, as well as going off to their website and pre-ordering the album. The pre-orders are up in various different bundles and formats, so should be a cool time. Probably an album that I'll talk about here. And Bandcamp Fridays are back. I wanted to mention that because a lot of the progressive artists that I talk about have Bandcamp pages, and that's a big way where they sell their music. And this is a way where they can get a bigger chunk of the profits from ordering their albums and whatnot. So I just wanted to point people's attention. I just did a New Music Shuffle show, and most of the bands that I talked about there have Bandcamp pages that I link to in the description of that video. So you can check out those albums if you're interested in that. But I'm sure you all have various bands that you already follow and know about and maybe can support through Bandcamp Friday. So first Friday of every month is when they do this for at least the next few months. They plan to do it throughout the rest of this year for sure, and then we'll see how it proceeds. So this day, September 2nd, if you're watching it on September 2nd, is Bandcamp Friday, and they'll continue that on October 7th, November 4th, and December 2nd. So if you want to support the artists, Bandcamp waives their revenue share and supports the artists, so they get a lot more of the money that we're giving them to support them. So a really cool thing to do. And so that's really what I have for you guys on the headlines front. As I mentioned in the singles section, we have that Steve Hackett Lamb Lies Down on Broadway performance. There's a cool track from a band called Dim Grey, a Norwegian art rock trio called Cannons. Their first music video. They've released a really cool album today as well called Firmament that I really recommend. It's on Big Big Train's English Electric Recordings label, so there's some familiarity there with Big Big Train. It's a really cool album. I haven't been able to hear the full thing, but I've heard bits of it, and it's just really great art rock. It's not super progressive, but it's really pleasant sounding, really great melodies and really well written music, so really recommend checking that one out. Of course, that Wheel song Blood Drinker is part of my list, as well as Soen. They have a new concert film coming out called Atlantis, and I put up their first single called Trials, which is a really cool track. They're doing a performance with orchestration, and it's more lush and beautiful. Of course, Soen is more known for their really heavier metal style, but this seems like it's a bit more lush in arrangement with all the symphonic elements, at least this track in particular. So that could be a really cool thing to check out. It's from a recording from December 10th, 2021 with Martin Lopez, Joel Ekeloff, Lars Enoch Alland, Cody Lee Ford, and Oloski Zelator Kobel, working together with an 8-piece orchestra to reinterpret and rediscover fresh energy and elements in some of their classic songs. So that should be a cool thing to check out. The concert film comes out November 18th, 2022, but you can check out that first single as part of the singles list. Also on my list is the new Queensryche song, Behind the Walls. Really good classic Queensryche sound. You know, of course, they're a classic progressive metal band that started way back when in the 80s, one of the big people who kickstarted the genre, really, and are a big name in the progressive metal sphere. So definitely check that single out. Their forthcoming album, Digital Noise Alliance, comes out on October 7th, so that should be a lot of fun. And as I mentioned, the Porcupine Tree, heard Culling. So a really cool list of tracks there to check out if you're interested. As for the channel, it was a really big, stacked week for the channel. I did a review for the Lonely Robot album, A Model Life, which I thought was a really cool album, and I really had fun talking about it. I recommend that video. I also did my next top 5 video, which was really well viewed. I'm really grateful for everyone who's enjoying that series. I talked about the top 5 prog supergroups, so check that one out. And I also did my part 1 of New Music Shuffle, where I talked about 5 new albums that I've been enjoying over the past couple months. And that one didn't get as many views. I wish it got a little bit more attention. I know the new music side of the channel is a little bit less viewed and people don't pay as much attention, but I wish people would, because there's a lot of cool new albums coming out that I wish people would look into and discover. So If you're interested in some new prog music, there's some interesting recommendations. I think it's varied enough that you could find something in there for you, even if some of the albums might not be to your taste. There's something interesting for everybody, so really recommend that. And part 2 of that New Music Shuffle, because I had so many albums, I split it into 2 parts. The second part should be coming out this upcoming week with 5 other albums that I've really liked that have come out even more recently. So really fun time. The next Prog Top 5 should be a really fun show this next week. So I'm continuing that series. It's been doing incredibly well, so thank you guys for your support on that one. And just the typical Prog Song Sunday should be coming at you this Sunday, as usual, with Jana. So a lot of good stuff coming out, a lot of fun I'm having on the channel, and hopefully you guys are having fun as well. And let me know in the comments any news items I may have missed, any albums that you're excited about that are coming out, or any suggestions you have for the channel and what you want to see coming forward into the future. So thank you guys so much for your support. Hopefully you enjoy this upcoming weekend, and that everything is good where you are at. And so please keep enjoying the music. Alright, so hopefully you'll see you guys in another video. Bye everybody!